Hi, this is Sonia. I am the founder of Travel Awakens. I help purpose driven travel professionals design and sell transformational, meaningful offers so they can attract more clients, make a bigger impact, and build a more profitable business. Today, I'm here to talk about the resistance to financial investment. I think this is something super powerful. It's a very important topic, and I don't hear many people talking about it at all. But we need to address that and we need to talk about that because of the consequence of it. So it's normal when we start a business or when we are thinking about making a change in our career, start a different project, reinvent ourselves, to start with free content and start with resources that are accessible and available, like this video, or maybe you're listening to podcasts or YouTube videos or reading some articles about transformational travel. Maybe you read some books, make a small investment there in some books or webinars. All that is amazing and necessary at the beginning because we are still in the phase of research and figuring things out to see if this is what we really want to do, if the message resonates with us, if it's something we really want to invest. But this free content and low inversion cost and things of low cost will only take us that far. There is a moment that this needs to stop. There is a moment that we cannot go with the little things and pieces like breadcrumbs here and there, and we need really to invest in something that will make us go to our goals and will make us our business grow steadily and with more motivation and with more fuel, because the small investment will have a small return of the investment, and the bigger investment, the bigger return of investment. So the resistance that this is in our mind, because when we want to change something, we always will experience resistance. This will happen with anything we want to change in our lives or our careers. And it comes in different ways, but there is this voice that will try to convince us that we don't need to invest, that we are fine, that we can do it ourselves, that we can go, with this free thing here and this small investment there, and we will reach our goals. But we need to see the voice for what is really happening here. And this is the voice of wanting us to keep us on the known, on the familiar, and avoiding the change, because it's the survival instinct that is trying to keep us small and in our comfort zone and avoid any risk. Because, of course, when there is a financial investment, there is always risk. We cannot have any guarantee of the return of the investment. So the voice will try to tell you that it's not necessary to invest, or maybe just try to invest with this small thing here to test a little bit of the waters before really going all in. And one of the typical ones is that it will try to convince you that you can do it yourself. But you have to see this voice for what they are and ask yourself, is this true? Is it true that I can do it myself? How long can you go on your own? Or you can ask yourself, how is it going so far doing it by yourself? Because eventually maybe you can, but it will take you so long and so much time, investment, and struggle eventually, that it's more likely that you will quit or give up on the way. So it's like, as I said, any kind of business will have this situation. It's not just something about transformational travel. Any business will have this same problem. And I don't know anyone who has built a business on isolation. Everybody needs somebody to help them, another person on the other side that helps them to challenge their perspective, to help them to see what's the path, what's the way they need to follow to achieve the goals, and also helping us see what we cannot see ourselves, because from the subjective mind and from our own perspective is very difficult. We need somebody like a mirror, like a coach, who help us see what we cannot see about ourselves, about our business, and what we are doing, the ways we are self-sabotaging, etc. But this is something that happens also in your personal life, in any kind of change you want to do, not only the professional. Let's put the example of, if you want to change your physical activity and you want to start being more active physically, you want to start getting fit, or maybe losing weight, or getting healthy, and you decide that you will join a gym or you will hire a personal trainer, right? So this is a good start. But what happens if we pay a gym that the investment is so low that we don't care much and we don't go? Maybe you know somebody, or you yourself happened to yourself, that you paid a gym for months or even years and you don't go, or you don't go as much or enough to get results. So this is what happens when the investment is not powerful enough to make us get out of our comfort zone and do the things that are necessary to do to actually achieve that change and that goal that we have in mind. So if you're paying 20 euros, $20 on a gym membership, and you think that this is, of course, nobody wants to lose money, but the expense is not big enough to have this motivation to get out of your comfort zone, stand up from the coach and going to the gym to do the implementation of the work. And maybe this price that you pay is enough just to keep your conscience clear that at least you are doing something. This is what happens with the small investments, that we invest here and there and we keep ourselves kind of happy because we don't feel so guilty, because we feel that we are still doing something. No, at least I enrolled to the gym. That's one step. Well, it's totally useless if you are not gonna do anything with it. So this is the same with cheap programs or things that are free, that first we don't value it. Of course, the content and the value are not going to be the same of some other courses or help or support that's going to be, really fair for what you have in exchange. But it's also the commitment we have. And the financial investment is a commitment with ourselves. So if you are not going to the gym and you pay the gym, what you have to do is go and pay another gym that's expensive enough, that's the on the limit of what you can afford, to be really motivated by the fact that you are paying something, so you're going to use it. And because you're going to go to the gym and because you're going to use it, then you're going to get the results, because you need to implement, you need to do the work to get results. And this happens with anything in life. So if you're not doing the work, it's because it's not worth the cost that you are paying, is not worth the cost of going, right? So this happens with the gym, this happens with any other situation that it will happen in your life or career. But this is the thing, right? So with your business, it's the same. So if you are asking ChatGPT for things, or you are asking your friend, or you are just Googling things and downloaded freebies here and there, this is where it will get you. You are not giving a real commitment. You're not saying to yourself and to the world that I am serious with that. I'm really invested in that. So you will not get the results because you will not be invested and committed to it. It's something subjective that happens. So the higher the commitment, the higher the investment, and the more effort you will put to get out of your comfort zone. It needs to be worth to pay the price to get out of your comfort zone, because otherwise you will tend to stay in your familiar known space. Of course, not every investment is going to be worthwhile. So we need to ask ourselves as well two questions that will help us make the decision, the best decision for where it comes to a good investment. So what's a cost and what's an investment, or what's a good investment and what's not a good investment? So of course, the price is not the thing, because we saw with the example of the gym, even if you pay $20 and you are not going, is cheaper but totally useless. If you pay double and you pay $40 but you are going, this is really a return of investment, right? So price would not be the thing, but actually is, will this course or this exercise or this program or this coach or this resource or this tool, will this help me achieve my results? Okay, will this investment help me achieve my goals? And will help me to achieve my goals quicker and more efficient, right, than on my own? So if the answer is yes, that's potentially a good investment. The other question you can ask yourself is, what's the alternative? So what I'm gonna do if I'm not investing on this? what's the plan B, and what's the cost of not investing. So the cost of investing and the cost of not investing, right? So you need to compare these two costs and see which of the costs are you willing to pay the price. The risk is always going to be there. So it's just having the decision or the clear mind to make the best decision for you and for your business. And you know what's really expensive is not actually the money that you will invest, but the time that you will waste if you don't invest. Because time never comes back. You know how to make more money. You can always make more money. Money all the time comes in and out, but the time, this never come back. So if you are wasting your time on a small thing or something that will get you nowhere, that's really what's expensive. Now, the message I said, so when you invest in yourself, the message and the energy that you put in the world and in the universe out there is that you are serious and you are committed. And successful entrepreneurs, those who get results, those who have success in their business, they know they have to invest and they invest in the best. They invest in the best they can afford because they know it's not only about the investment, it's about the return of investment, which the implication of it is how much they're going to be committed on that. Because you as entrepreneur, you are the big part of your success. So you need to be all in when you decide to build a business. And that's what a good investment with a good professional will give for you. So, if you want to become a transformational travel professional, but you still have doubts or fears about taking the next step, or whether if it's a good for you, a good option to have support and the best support that you can afford, I invite you to have an informal coffee chat with me so we can have a conversation and talk about your situation, where you are, where you want to be, what are the challenges that you are getting when you are trying to build this transformational travel business. And we will come with solutions and help you decide whether the support and the coaching support would be a good solution for you in your case. So that's all for me. Thank you for being here and see you next week.